Hey! Start timer! Hi! Hi! My throat is completely froggy today, and that's just how that goes. Hey, how are you? I'm Maya. And I need to adjust. I have a vase of roses on the wall, and it was completely crooked. I am sjomajlin on Instagram and Ravelry. Today is Saturday, the 17th of December. 1 week to Christmas! And I'm coming to you from a very rainy and grey Jönköping, Sweden. I've lit for the 4th Advent. Ah! It's right there. Can you see? Ooh. Creaky chair, as usual. The 4th of Advent isn't strictly speaking until tomorrow, but I've started it. It's the 4th of Advent weekend anyway. Let me just put these back beside the tripod. So I didn't record last week as as promised. No, but as I guess. Okay, so last episode I told you guys I would probably not gonna have time to record. I was probably not gonna have time to, whatever. And I didn't. Last week and weekend was very hectical. It was good. I was asked to do some solos in a second Christmas concert on Saturday, last Saturday. That I wasn't really anticipating that I would, and I said yes. It was to do like the, what do you say, like the and I don't mean this to sound bad in any way. So the concert was a Christmas concert at church, where the children had some songs and a little bit of a nativity play. So, and although talented and cute children are amazing, they wanted it to have a little bit more of a, like, adult, I don't want to say professional, but like framework around it. So they asked me to do a couple of songs. So I did, and it was a lot of fun. But it was also, it took some time. I mean, it took time and effort out of me. And on Sunday, last Sunday, we had our big Christmas concert with the choir as a collaboration with another choir. And we had our first, oh, word. That's a good word for, like, together-ish. Rehearsal are common? No. Well, you understand what I mean, right? We had our first rehearsal together on Saturday last week. So we had that rehearsal and then like pre-concert rehearsal on Sunday. So that was a little bit nervous, just to see. So I don't really get nervous when it's about choir, because it is completely a team sport, you know? But it was a little bit nervous-ish, I guess, just because we hadn't rehearsed together before that. We do have the same conductor leader, so he was, if there are two completely different choirs that are going to collaborate, that could be very difficult. But since we had the same conductor leader, whatever the name is for that position, we knew that he was, you know, making sure that we were sort of on the same page, all of us. So, and it turned out really, really good. The concert was borderline magic, I must say. It was really, really amazing, and we got some lovely praise afterwards, which felt really good. And this week on Saturday, we had a workshop with the real group. Which sounds sort of weird when you speak about it in English, but that is actually their name. And I've mentioned this before. They are an a cappella singing group. They are a quintet. Yes, I had to think there. Because one of the songs that we're doing with them is a 4-piece. What do you say? For the 5th member is usually not on stage when they do that because it is written for 4. Yeah, okay, anyway, so that's, yeah. So we had a workshop together with them, both choirs, and that was, so I was sort of thinking through what I wanted to talk about the other night, yesterday, the day before. And I just started, you know, sort of talking in my head about this workshop thing and the choir and like my journey from 2 years ago, and it just turned into this like really, really big, deep human soul conversation. And those of you who've been with me for a while, you know that I'm really trying to be open and honest about these things. But I feel as though that got so incredibly deep and personal that I don't know if I can. There is such a big risk of me just sort of getting lost in that train of thought that I will, you know. Anyway, so that workshop was, so 2 of the members or one of the member of the actual a cappella group and their manager started crying when we sang there. So they wanted to hear, because okay, so one of the songs, it is a beautiful, beautiful song. It's called The World for Christmas by the Real Group. It is available online if you want to listen to it. It is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we had done that on the first, on our concert. We as a choir are going to sing the choruses, and then we had a quartet, yes, 4 quartet, doing the verses. So the Real Group asked, like, can we hear it? And they were like, well, yeah. They were a little bit nervous, of course, but they sang it. And we did the choruses, and it is such a beautiful song. And they just started crying. And it was like you could certainly touch the atmosphere. What do you say? You know what I mean? It was so magical. So they decided, what is that I'm seeing? Oh, I saw the light reflecting there, which looked completely wrong on the screen, but I see now that it is reflecting in the painting, or in the, yeah, and then in, I just thought something was on fire. Anyway, it was such a powerful moment, and the Real Group were like, well, what are we gonna do? We can't be in this song. You've got to do it. And then they decided that the newly formed, if you will, quartet is going to do the first verse, the choir is going to do the chorus, the Real Group is going to do the second verse, the choir is going to do the chorus, they're going to do the last verse, it's a half a verse, anyway, together, and then the little quartet, the new quartet are going to do like the little tail at the end. And it turned out so beautiful, and it was amazing, but I was so emotionally drained afterwards, in the most positive way there is. And I started thinking about this, how important choir is to me, and what's been going on the last 2 years with my choir, the choir part of my being, and also with me being sick. As you know, I am still medicating for depression, and 2 years ago I was home all of November, sorry, half of December, all of November, just sat, couldn't do anything. And the only thing that sort of, the only thing that I didn't completely dread, I sort of did dread it, but not completely dread it, to get out the door for, was choir rehearsals. And then that leader told us he was leaving, which I completely respect and understand, but I was very, very sad to see him go. And then this whole circus just started, among everything else that was going on in my life. And it was just awful, and I am in such a really good place right now. And it is, yeah, so this is what I was like talking to myself about the other night, and I got so caught up in it, and so I'm dropping it right there, because otherwise there won't be any time left for knitting at all. But yeah, it's been a very interesting week, or 2 weeks since last, with a lot of work as well. A lot of work. So as I said, today is Saturday. Tomorrow the choir, just our choir, not both choirs, are singing in the Sunday service some Christmas songs, which is going to be amazing. One of the songs that we are singing, just the ladies of the choir are singing it, the Ave Maria, is one of those like old classics that the rest of the choir, or the older members, not age-wise, but being a member-wise, have done a million times, but I've never heard it. I don't even know. I mean, I've looked at the what's it called? The sheet music, and I don't even recognize this version of it. So that'll be interesting. And then I have an incredible amount of work on Monday and Tuesday. And then on Wednesday I have a lot of desk work, office work that needs to be done. Because hopefully that is my last day of work. If I don't get it done, I'll have to get in on either on Thursday or someday between, like in the next week there, between Christmas and New Year's. And then on Wednesday afternoon we are meeting the real group again for last minute rehearsals, and then Wednesday night is the concert at like the big concert hall here in town, which is going to be huge and amazing and crazy. So I am definitely on the, what's the word? What's the word? Like when when athletes are running like long running races, the last part where they run even faster, that is called something. And that is definitely where I am right now. Okay, so in all of this I've had some time to knit, and saying that, I haven't exactly had a lot of time to knit, but I've taken time because I need it. Let's see if I can pull this up here. So I did finish. Let me show these first. So this is one of the coasters I have here. It's mine and it's been used. But I showed you that I've made a few of these. I finished the last couple of these as well. They look sort of like this. So, but they are packaged up for Christmas gifts. So I'm not going to show you the actual coasters, but I made 16 of these. So they are done. I finished a sweater. I showed you this last time. A child sweater, top down, raglan, self-striping yarn, as you can see. I knit this on what? 3.5 or 4 mil needles. I'm not sure which. No, I'm not sure which. Anyway, so it knits up pretty quickly because it is such a pretty heavy yarn, or yarn weight, whatever it's called. I did a little pair of teeny tiny newborn socks for a gift as well. I made a pair of fingerless mitts, and as I was working on these, I fell completely in love with them, and they were gonna be a gift. So I was like, no, no. And as they were finished, I just tried them on, and they fit me perfectly, which honestly means they are too small for the recipient. So I had to keep them. So I did another pair of mitts that are larger. Well, these are, what do you say, like blocked out since I am wearing them, but these are actually larger. So these are gonna be a gift, and these were for me. So those were my finished. Let me show you. When I make a samglasset, my tea is still too warm to drink. I am drinking the Pukka detox tea. And I've mentioned this before, I don't buy into the whole detox thing because I have a liver and 2 kidneys. But this tea is so delicious. It tastes so licorice and I love it, so I drink it anyway. It's a little bit too warm. When I make a samglasset, you can either do the increases sort of at the side of the thumb like that, or you can do the increases as sort of a raglan spine, or center shawl spine, if you will. And I usually do that doing the make one left and make one right, or the other way around. I don't remember now. I usually have the stitches leaning out of. Anyway, what I decided to do on this, and I do really like how it looks. It is the, like you make one stitch, do a yarn over, and then you make another stitch into the same stitch. So the increases are the stitches, and the spine is the yarn over. Do you know what I mean? And I really, really like how that looks. It is, I would say it's still a very, like, it's not a, hey, look at me thing. It still is very discreet looking, but it is just a little bit more decorative than doing sort of the raglan normal, just increases left and right. So I really, really like how that looks. Yay! These are so comfy. And these as well are made on sort of 3.5 needles, as well as the sweater. So they work up quickly and they are pretty short. The last fingerless mittens I knit for me were like this tall. So that is. I just realized I haven't shown you. I showed you my tattoo when it was really newly done, and now it is almost healed, and now it looks like this. I am so happy with it. I am so happy with it. I also made yesterday evening a little Christmas tree out of a book that I was never gonna read, and you just fold the pages up, and I think it looks pretty cute. I have one since last year that I tried storing, and it is like all crooked. I think it's out behind that door, so I'm not gonna show it to you, and it looks really, really bad. So I decided to make a new one, so I'm probably throwing out the other one, or maybe I already did. I don't remember. Anyway, it's a little Christmas tree. Yeah, that's it. Works in progress. I am working ever so slowly on the Still Light tunic. Bervalamäki, you've seen this a million times. First sleeve is done. It's been for a while. I'm working on the second sleeve. and it's coming along. When I finish the sleeves, I am making the inside of the pockets, like the pocket, what do you say, bags. And then I have some more length to do on the length of the tunic. It's coming along. I am currently prioritizing making gifts for Christmas, or for the holidays. I am also knitting up a second sweater for, without saying too much, this is going to be slightly larger than this. Sort of a size larger, I guess, for Christmas. It's the same yarn, different colorway, same construction, top down, raglan increases. I am not ribbing at the top, so it's just gonna roll a little bit, and I really like how that looks. I did the same on the first one. I had ribbing at the cuffs and down at the bottom of the sweater, but not at the top. So this needs to be a little bit taller in the body, and then I need to knit the sleeves. I do have... Okay, so the yarn is Raggi by Järbo. I had 2 balls of this, or skeins of this, for the first one, and I ended up with this much left. It's not a tiny little amount, but it's not a whole lot, and it is really squishy. So the yarn, this is the second ball. This is not going to be enough for the second sweater, since it's going to be larger. So you can see there is a black stripe in this. What I'm doing is I'm making the body, the length of the body will be completely in this. Then I will divide the rest of the yarn into 2 equal balls and knit the first sleeve, and when it finishes, when the yarn finishes, I will knit the rest of the sleeve, I wish, in black, and figure out sort of how much there is. And then the second sleeve I will probably start with a little bit of the stripy yarn, and then do probably like over the elbow a wider stripe of black, and then finish off. So the sleeves will be slightly different with additional black in them. So this is the same yarn. It is a smaller skein, I believe. Yeah, the striped skeins are of 150 grams and this is 100 grams. But it is the same weight. So I do believe that will be good enough, you know? And since this is, as I said, there is a black stripe in this, it's not gonna look too strange. With the first sweater, I did not think about at all to make the sleeves look the same, and they are not. They are pretty close though. As you can see, the striping sequence is so this, on this sleeve the cuff is in green, and on this sleeve the bind off is in green. So they are close enough. So the second sweater will be more different, but I really don't think that it's not a big deal at all. Because I said so. So those are my works in progress. I also have the sort of lightweight, airy shawl thing that I haven't touched, and I also have the Tunisian crochet cowl in the kitchen that I hardly have touched either. Sorry, it was just sort of stuck and it wouldn't come, and it really hurts when it does that. At least in my head it does. Yeah, so those are my works in progress. I am obviously at this point prioritizing finishing this sweater, so that I have the Christmas knitting done. I have some other ideas that I was like, ah, you know, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. And I'm still like, well, there's time, there's a week. But I'll hopefully talk myself out of doing that because I need some calm. Yeah. But we'll see. But I'm pretty much like, that is the only thing I have to finish. And I will, because it knits up so quickly with the heavier yarn, or the larger gauge, whatever. So I'm in no absolute rush, and that is so good. I have made myself an advent calendar this year with different things in. And today, so I had bought this before and put it on the shelf. It's a book. I had put it on the shelf to wait because I have other books that I want to, I have so much that I want to read, but still I prioritize. I am prioritizing, is that the word? Knitting over reading, so my reading is really like, I have such a huge queue. So I had bought these books and put it on the shelf. They are up there. There are 2 box sets right here that I put on the shelf for later reading, because there are other things that I sort of want to get out of the queue. Not necessarily want to read more, rather, but I want to get them out of the queue. Anyway, but this was something that I was like, I want to read it. So I put the first book of the trilogy in the advent calendar, and today I got it. So today will definitely be some reading time. It's the Miss Peregrine Home for Peculiar Children. So I got this in my little advent calendar today. So I haven't seen the movie, but I've heard a little bit about the book, and I think I might like it. So as I said, the box set is right up there. Let me see. Yes, there are 2 boxes right here. They're black, both of them, but you can see the little splotches of white on them. So the one furthest there is the Hunger Games trilogy, and there is the Peregrine. I read the Hunger Games audiobook, so I haven't actually read the books, but I've read the books, you know. So that is why I am more eager to read this, because I haven't read this at all. However, so I was reading 2 books at the same time for some reason, because I do that. So I was very close to finishing one of the books the other night, or a few nights ago, and I knew this was coming up in my advent calendar, so I made sure to finish that book that I was closest to finishing the other night, and then I started a second book. So now I have 2 books going, but I'll start the third anyway. So I started this the other night, and I haven't gone very far at all, but it is such a thin little shorty book, so this won't be. And the other one I'm reading is, so that is written in Swedish, I don't think it's been translated. The other one is sort of a heavier book, and I've only done this much, so it is more to finish. And this is such a scary book. Let's see, it is written in French, and it's been translated. I'm reading it in Swedish, because I don't know any French. No. Since it is written in French, I don't know if there's an English title, and I'm not really gonna try to pronounce the French, but it is written by Jean-Christophe Granchet, something. And the Swedish translation translated into English is in the Tracks of the Devil, and it is such a horrifying murder story. So I can definitely recommend this, although it is super, super awkward. I mean, it's not like ghost stories or anything, but it is completely awful how evil humans can be. This is fiction though, so it's not. And now I'm starting this. I love reading. I just really, really wish I gave it higher of a priority. But I'm choosing knitting, and that's fine too. Anyway, so time's up. I do believe I will have time to record another episode on Friday, this coming Friday. If I for some reason don't, the episode will be delayed because I will not record on Christmas Eve, because that is the big day here in Sweden, and on Christmas Day is some other things going on, so I highly doubt I will record on that day as well. So if I don't have time on Friday, it will be delayed next week as well, and that's just how it is. So please do take care of yourselves, be kind to yourselves and to one another, and have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. For me it is Christmas all the way, so that is why I'm so focused on the dates of actual Christmas. For those of you who are celebrating other holidays, I am not aware of the dates, so maybe I'm too soon or maybe I'm too late, but I really do wish you all very happy holidays. And I'm sure I will speak to you before the new year, but if something happens, I also want to wish you a very happy new year until we meet again. So knit on, have some tea, and be merry. Bye!